Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and freaks of nature of all ages. My name is Brian Bad Hippie Jackson, and welcome to my YouTube. And welcome back to Let's Build Treasures of the Dead using UDK. And what we're doing is we're adding light to our fire traps. And if we zoom in down here, we're going to notice that we have two separate lights. It is kind of hard selecting lights through meshes. So this light is the one on the outside. It doesn't move at all, although it is a movable point light. It's not moving. I just simply drug off a copy of the other light after I got it moving. This light is attached to the particle effect and will move with it so that our fire casts light. And if we play from here, you can see up there already that you can see the light coming off of the one that's not moving and kind of casting a little bit of light on the wall and the gate. And when we hit our trigger, that fire has a light that moves with it. So we're going to learn how to set up that light, that point light, so that the fire coming from the trap actually casts and creates light. And then we're not going to need to put in other light sources in the fire trap rooms because all of the fires will have lights attached to them. Okay, so let's just go ahead and move down to the next fire trap here. Right there. Go to Actor. And we could very easily, I'm going to go ahead and double check my settings on this light real quick. The color I'm not really worried about. I want to make sure I have my size right. So I've got the size set to a 256, the brightness to a 1, and then my color setting is right there in the red-orange area. And once again, I got that by clicking on the ink dropper color select and then putting it on a section of the fire and then just waiting until a color came up that I wanted to use for the fire and clicking OK. So that's how we're going to get our color. But 256 and 1 for the brightness. So we're going to come down here. We're going to open up our content browser. We're going to go to Actor Classes, Lights, Point Lights, select Point Light Movable, right click, and add Point Light Movable here. And then we're going to pull him up. And we want to make sure that he's pretty much even with the other Point Light Movable, which is sitting, yeah, that's pretty damn close. Right about that mouth area. Right about there looks like it'll work good, and then move it back to where it's just barely in front of that creature. And this one we're just going to go ahead and get rid of. We don't need it. We don't need that at all because this light will illuminate this corner at least a little bit. And you know, we don't want all of our switches to be too completely obvious. Alright, so we're going to select that point light movable. We're going to hit F4. We're going to change our size to 256. Then we're going to zoom in down a little bit closer to this fire. We're going to hit our color picker, grab the dropper, and then set it and I think I want that over this way just a little bit more, and maybe bring that up just a tad, and right in there looks like it's going to be good. Okay. And then we're going to double check against our other one, and we need to bring that light in just a little bit, I think. Get it just a little bit closer to that. Okay. And centered up, and that works fine. Now that one is not going to move. We're going to leave it right there. Alright, now we're going to hold Alt and drag off a copy, and we're going to pull this one back behind the wall. And we're basically going to put it in the same place that we've got our, just as long as we're behind the wall. Now we're going to open our Kismet. We're going to go to Fire Traps and Fire Trap 1. And we're going to right click, and I've already got this one set up with an attach to actor. So we're going to right click, create a new object variable using Point Light 3, which is the one we just moved into the wall. We're going to look at this attached to actor. We know how to make one, and it is no settings. We didn't change anything in the numbers. All we did was turn use relative offset and use relative rotation on. So we can either select that, Control C and Control V and create a copy, or we can right click, new action, actor, attach to actor. It doesn't matter which one you do. We're just going to go ahead and use the copy paste method because we already know that this is set up properly. Alright, now we're going to undo the attachment link on this one because that was attached to Point Light 2 movable, and we're going to attach our Point Light 3, and then we're also going to run that into the target of our toggle hidden, so that when this level starts, that toggle is going to be hiding both emitters and both movable point lights. Okay, so now we've got that attached to the actor, but we need to do one more thing. We're going to run from this attached to actor out, which is the exact same emitter that this light is attached to, which attaches the dynamic physics volume for the damage to the same emitter that this light is attached to. We're going to chain the out of that to the in on that, because if there's not something telling this to fire, it's not going to work. Okay, so that's it. That's all we've got to do. We've got our light for our light source for the actual fire mouth setup, and the first light, and then the one that we just pulled into the wall will be hidden when the level starts, and it won't activate until we hit the trigger, which will unhide the two moving lights and the two emitters. Okay, and we're going to build lighting and paths real quick. So since we know we need to build lighting and paths, we're going to go ahead and click Build All, and that will build everything in the level. And I am actually, before I do that, I'm going to select emitters, and I'm going to hide them because they get in my way. I really don't like the emitters being visible unless I have to use them or I'm working with them. Other than that, I hide them because they get in the way. But let's go ahead and build all real quick. And I just might have been mistaken, and we might actually need a light over there on the switch. I don't know. But we've got everything rebuilt, and let's go back up here and play. And just keep in mind that our checkpoint is over here, and we're starting without hitting our checkpoint, so that if I do something stupid and we get killed, it's not going to turn those traps off like it would if we had the checkpoint and respawned on that checkpoint. So we're going to play from here. Alright, we can see our light shining. And why is my other light not moving? My second light is not moving. Alright, let's debug it. Let's debug it and figure it out. Right click, find in Kismet. Okay, everything's attached to the toggle properly. That's what we did right there. Our target, we did a copy paste and we didn't change our target. We're still attached to the other emitter. So it's putting two lights to emitter 3 instead of adding that light to emitter 2. That's what we did wrong. We attached it to the wrong emitter. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to rebuild our paths just to make sure. There we go. And I'm pretty sure that a couple of you out there spotted that and are sitting there going, "No, idiot, you got it attached to the wrong emitter." There we go. And now we have a light that follows both of the fires and also illuminates the area just a little bit better. There we are. And yeah, we can see that switch pretty good. We know we've got that cubby back there. We hit that. Go that way. And then when we hit this switch, and the fire, the moving fire is turned off, but we still have the emitter light from the mouth fire. And I think we're going to probably want to take that other one back just a little bit, but it's not a big deal, and I can tweak positioning, detail tweak positioning a little bit later. And that's how we attach a movable point light to our fire traps to give our fires some light, because fires cast light, and it just does not look, it looks cheap. It looks like it was rushed if we don't take the time to add some sort of light source to that fire and have that fire actually cast light, because fires cast light and we want it to look a bit more realistic, and we don't want it to look rushed and cheap. Alright, and we're going to call that one good for today. Please do not forget to check the links in the description below for the Disabled American Veterans and the Wounded Warriors Project. Let's please help support our veterans. If you liked the video, then hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends and family to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Please don't forget to leave me a comment. They're always welcome, good, bad, or somewhere in between. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate your support, your time, your encouragement. I love every one of you. And until next time, this is Brian Bad Hippie Jackson saying peace, love, clean underwear, and happy gaming.